Update: my girlfriend is acting obsessed with this random family she just met. This is an update from my last post. As a quick summary, I thought something weird was going on with my girlfriend, Maggie, who became quickly and extremely close to her new coworker, Joe, and his wife, Kate. After just a couple weeks, she was trusting Joe with everything work-related, babysitting their children for free and buying them gifts, having the kids call her auntie, putting this family above her other friends, inviting the family to Maggie's family Thanksgiving, and referring to them as her chosen family. I thought that either this whole thing was some kind of cover for an affair or Maggie had attachment issues. I figured out what was going on and I feel like a huge idiot. I went to see Maggie to ask for an explanation and figured if I didn't like what I heard I'd break up with her, because either she was cheating or had an emotional issue I couldn't handle. I had the opportunity when I saw the gifts Maggie had gotten for Joe and Kate's kids. It seemed so strange for someone who doesn't really like kids that much to go so overboard for kids she just met. I asked Maggie why she gave the kids such special treatment even though she doesn't really like kids that much. Maggie explained that she felt differently about these kids because she had been around to watch them grow and was close to Joe and Kate, so the kids are more like family to her, which means she treats them differently than other kids and they're the exception to the rule. Maggie said she'd probably tone it down eventually, but since they were so young she wanted to get them something really nice for Christmas. I wasn't really sure what to say next because it seemed so irrational, but then Maggie said that she used to exchange Christmas gifts with Joe and Kate too, but that they had all decided it was too much trouble and unnecessary, so these days she usually bakes them something or gets them a nice bottle of wine. I realized I was missing something important. If Maggie had other Christmases with Joe's family, she couldn't have just met them like I thought. I had thought that Maggie might have emotional issues that made her attach herself to people she barely knew, but I didn't think Maggie was actually crazy enough to imagine that she knew them before. I didn't want to ask, so I acted normally until I left. When I got home, I went through Maggie's Facebook. She wasn't lying and she's not crazy. I found a ton of photos with Joe and Kate going back a decade. From what I can figure out, they all went to college together. Joe and Maggie were big brother and little sister in a co-ed frat/sorority, and Maggie and Kate were roommates. I also found pictures of Maggie as a bridesmaid in Joe and Kate wedding and pictures of Maggie holding their newborn children, so they are obviously close friends who have known each other for a long time. All of Maggie's behavior makes perfect sense now that I know all this. I think this whole thing is my fault. I have ADHD and I don't handle it well. I've had issues when people are talking to me for a while, where I start zoning them out. I've been called out for this before. I think it's pretty likely that Maggie did tell me about Joe and Kate and I just wasn't listening. Maggie hasn't actually done anything wrong or creepy, so I think it's more likely that I wasn't listening when Maggie explained instead of this being a trick. This was a pretty big wake-up call for me. I've been ignoring